Hey Crowllies, what is up, y'all? I'll wait for y'all to get the notification. Come on in, join us. Let's see what your next 7 days looks like. All right. We did get the first message about something is becoming public, something is becoming known. All right. So if there's something hidden or something that was happening, let's say in silence, it's now becoming louder, it's becoming known to the public. It's not a secret, right? That is definitely coming out for you guys. So remember, these messages can apply in many different areas in your life. Everybody's crow story is different. This is a Crowllective, all right? Angel number 111. So be in alignment with what is for you and, whatever's not happening in your, like, let's say, nest. It may be happening in another Crowley's nest, right? So that could be impacting you somehow, some which way or form. The way these readings work are basically based off of who you're interacting with, how that affects you in your day-to-day life. If it's not something that, let's say, all right, this is my situation, this is what I'm going through, the situation can be impacting you via someone that you are engaging with, sharing energy with, have some sort of relationship or connection to. And that's how these messages kind of work, right? So you definitely have to use your intuition. I always enforce using your intuition and your discernment in terms of the messages. Always asking for clarity from your ancestors first and foremost, and the Most High. Angel number 222, right? Alignment, balance, making sure that everything that you do, your actions, your decisions are definitely divinely guided by the Most High and your higher self, of course. And yeah, so let's get started. Let's see what is going on here for the next 7 days. And if you guys want to be notified as soon as I go live, make sure that you have all notifications on, okay? Because if you don't have all notifications on, you won't see as soon as I go live, especially if it's like a surprise pop-up live stream, okay? All right, let's see what's going on here. What do they need to know for the next 7 days for the Crowllective? What do they need to know for the next 7 days? All right, I also saw angel number 333. So something is shifting into alignment. I heard into focus, so that way you guys can see something. I also had a crow call this morning, all right? Early in the morning, I saw 2 crows, but 1 called, okay? We have the ring here. What's going on here? What else? Clarify what's going on with the ring. So we could be talking about some sort of commitment, some sort of engagement, some sort of relationship, okay? A connection to someone. We have the scythe. Yeah, this could be the separation of, separating ties with a particular person. All right. That could be significant here. Give us more details. What's going on here? We have the gentleman that came out. All right. What else here? What else do they need to know? All right. We have the book. Okay, so this is someone that is book smart. Okay, this is someone that's really intelligent. They're wise. I heard wise beyond their years. Okay, this could be someone that has studied. So they could have went to school. They could have went to like get their associates or bachelors, or there could be smart in some sort of trade, or something like that, some sort of skill. They're well versed in something, all right? Or there's something in regards to a masculine learning a lot of information. All right, we have the cross here, and then we have the bottom of the deck, the mice, okay? So I will say, let's just scoot this on over a little bit more. There we go, that's better. I will say that something is definitely coming to light in regards to, especially if someone kept something a secret, all right? I do feel like something is coming to the forefront, or there was like some sort of information that someone didn't know about. That information is definitely coming to the forefront. With the key and the scythe, someone could have had issues with negotiations or a contract, difficulty with a contract, or difficulty with negotiating with something, okay? In regards to like relationships, there could have been trouble in regards to a relationship or a troubled relationship. Again, this can have something to do with this masculine here, right? So this masculine is basically coming off as someone that's educated. This could also be a masculine that is secretive. Again, this person is very intelligent, a man who you may not know, or may not completely like know as you thought you would. All right, there's something about like not knowing this particular masculine to their fullest extent, or their fullest capacities, or something like that. Okay. This man can also show up as a masculine that's introverted, all right? So this could be you or the person that you're dealing with. That could be significant. There could have been some situations there with troubled relationships, or troubled connection of some sort as well there. When we are now talking about the cross and the mice, there could have been some issues here in regards to an emotional breakdown or some sort of depression, right? Someone could have been very secretive in regards to being depressed, or there could have been some troubles in a relationship, and that could have made someone feel a little suicidal. And they could have kept this from this person, or this person could have kept this from you or someone else. Okay, but it is coming up. All right, let's get some more information on this particular situation. All right, clarify the key. I'm sorry, the ring. Why did I say the key? That's interesting. Clarify the ring. There could be some sort of open arrangement of some sort. Okay, that could be significant. Clarify the scythe. We have the house. Okay. Clarify the gentleman. Clarify the gentleman. We have the dog. Clarify the book. The storks. The cross. The ship and the ring. Yeah, it goes right back, full circle, right back. So there could have been some burdens here in regards to a connection. All right, because what do we say? Negotiations, a troubled relationship, or some sort of difficulties in terms of like negotiating something, coming to a compromise about something. So there could be an issue there in regards to that, right? I also see like there could have been a contract that started to fall apart. All right. This also could be like an end of a relationship because there was issues there, like something was troubling the relationship. And there could be an end of a relationship, and there's this is now coming to the light, is becoming public in regards to something, right? With the stars here, now, stars can sometimes mean like healing and stuff like that, but it can also mean spotlight energy, something that is shown, right? Again, angel number 111 is significant. 1044 is significant here. So there's something here in regards to um, a contract that is signed, right? So it's like there was a good relationship, but then the relationship became troubled, and then someone was having difficulties negotiating something in terms of a contract or the relationship itself, and then it caused some sort of like a breakup, right? So a breakup doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. Like if we're talking romance, then yes, it could be like a troubled relationship, goes sour, something happens, both parties couldn't agree to something in regards to the relationship, and so someone had to break up, right? But if we're talking about business partnerships, or we're talking about negotiations or contracts and stuff like that, this can mean that the relationship was good, and then there was some trouble in the relationship for the contract itself because someone could not agree on the said quote unquote negotiation that was already set when the contract was signed, right? Therefore, the cancellation of the contract had to occur, is what's happening here, right? And that could have been burdensome in this particular situation in regards to like where things were moving. All right. I do want to talk about what is the contract, like what does the contract have to deal with? In some circumstances, with the sites in the house here, the contract could have something to do with the sale of a house, the leasing of an apartment, the difficulties with a said house or in a said family, okay? And so this was causing issues with the negotiations happening behind the scenes here, okay? So for some of you guys, it could be like the sale of a house, selling a house or whatever. Family members couldn't agree. Something happened in regards to what was already signed over, and so there was a cancellation there, or someone left off feeling or walking off feeling upset because they didn't get their part of whatever, because that house was sold or because that apartment, the apartment lease was different or something like that than what they expected to sign, okay? With this gentleman, I did say that this gentleman is very knowledgeable, okay? So this gentleman can probably already know these certain things. There could be a gentleman here that already knows, that could be withholding. There we go. Could be withholding things that they already know. They're well versed in regards to this particular contract or situation or whatever happened with this relationship and how it went down, okay? But this masculine is someone that knows. Now, with the man and the dog, this also appears to be two men. Okay, so there's one man that's being secretive and they know everything that's happening, and then there's another man that's needing to find out in regards to the situation. So one of the men you don't know, and the other man you do know is what I'm seeing here. I am seeing that one of the men here is loyal. They could be loyal to you somehow. All right. There is something here changing, definitely, in regards to, like, let's say the information that is about to become public. When I say something is becoming public, this could be like something was kind of hidden behind the scenes, something wasn't talked about with other people, something was a secret, or something was being withheld, and now everyone's talking about it out loud, right? Um, there are changes that happened in secret, and this is what's coming out, right? So there's one of these men is studying these changes and is finding out what was kept a secret. All right, that's something else that I'm seeing here. With the cross and the ship, there is forward movement. This is some sort of difficult journey that someone's going through, but there is a fated trip because of this particular situation, right? Because of the severance of a contract, or because a house is being sold, or something of that nature. Okay, so let's get some more details here in regards to this particular situation. What do they need to know next 7 days? All right, we have Lily. Angel number 1616. 116 on the clock. All right. The fox. Anything else? The ship. Yeah, the ship came out twice. The ring came out twice. The ship came out twice. The key. See, I knew I felt the key. I was like, I wonder why I said the key when I was clarifying the ring. And the key came out. But the key came out on top of the book. So remember that the gentleman, one of the gentlemen is being secretive and they know something, but they're not saying it. Okay, or they were holding something. And there's two masculine energies that I was picking up here, okay? Just one hasn't revealed themselves yet. We have the garden. Verify the mice. The mice. All right, the mice is the storks here. And the storks came out twice. Okay. So let's talk about what's going on here with the lilies, right? We already talked about the contract going awry, negotiations becoming sour, some things not working anymore, some things not in alignment anymore, okay? With the lily and the fox, we're talking about something that was supposed to be long-term. For some of you guys, this could have been a long-term job offer that does not follow through, or something about like something gets in the way of a contract or something like that. If this has anything to do with, a romantic situation of sorts, right? This is like an affair that becomes public, someone sneaking around and getting caught, or someone having sexual problems because of something that was hidden, all right? And now that's becoming public, all right? That's becoming well known about whatever this heck this is, right? So take your message where it is. Someone could have been married later in life. There could have been a man that made an agreement of some sort, and the agreement didn't follow through, or they didn't follow through with the said agreement that they had with someone, okay? And a masculine knows why they didn't follow through with the situation, because they're loyal to that person, and that person didn't say what they needed to say to the person that they had an agreement with, okay? There's something there in regards to that. When we're talking about like getting deeper into like the whole like scythe situation, right, and the fox, I do feel like if this has anything to do like with work situations, someone could decide to like resign. There could have been a resignation, right? For others of you, this could be like a termination, okay, or some sort of work-related accident that occurs that then puts people like on the chopping block. But looking at the contract that they signed, they're trying to figure out with like what to negotiate in that contract. If it's a work contract, right? So if you're supposed to work for somebody for a certain period of time, how is something going to impact someone and things of that nature, right? For someone, angel number 2020 and 120 on the clock, there could have been a situation here that someone could have been facing some sort of legal issues, all right, legal trials or something like that. And this could now be causing an issue with some sort of contract, work-related situation here on whether or not they're going to be able to receive what they want, okay, in regards to that. I did say that there's some sort of trip here, all right, coming up. This specific trip is talking about these two masculine men because that's how it's appearing here. I do see that someone could be traveling, okay? So one of these men could be traveling or called to travel to go somewhere, all right, because of this particular situation. I'm also seeing like this is an important trip. This trip will definitely happen. It's for sure, it's certain. And I'm also seeing some sort of business success. So regardless of whatever the heck is happening here in terms of the contract, there is some sort of business success that's taking place for a particular masculine energy. Now, when we're talking about the garden, we're talking about like that public, like something publicly being acknowledged, something publicly being shown, something not no longer being hidden. And these are the particular changes that are taking place. So these are public changes, and this will also encourage some sort of growth to take place. Okay, this is something that was prayed for or destined. I am seeing that. This could have caused someone to really have some hard trials in regards to something, right? As well, engine number 2222 could be significant. So a lot of decisions need to be made, but this is also the mastery of something, okay? So let's see what else comes out. Clarify the lily, the mountain, the fox, the scythe. Yeah, there's something here in regards to something being removed, something being canceled, or someone being removed from somewhere, okay? Clarify the ship. Clarify the ship. The lilies. The key. Clarify the key. What was that? Hold on. Not the key on the bottom of the deck. Hold on. Let me grab it. The cross. So something is divinely opening up for someone. Clarify the garden, the crossroads, and then the child here with the storks. So there's some sort of a new chapter, a new beginning. Something is opening up. So a new door, all right, a new opportunity. And this has been a long time coming for someone here, okay? Now remember, you can be one of the masculine energies that I was talking about, or these two masculine energies can be impacting you somehow in some way in your life, okay? So you got to take it how it fits because everybody's situation is different, right? I do see that there was a situation here where there was no movement, the progress was blocked, but now that's opening up. And it could have been because of some sort of official documentation of sorts, right? And this official documentation could have been like some sort of contract, could have been like a legal trial. It could have been like an issue here with a relationship of some sort, okay? Could have had something to do with like an apartment or a house or something like that, okay? Because it's coming out in a lot of different ways here. But now something is being removed in order for you to have some sort of progress, right? I did say someone could have handed in their resignation somewhere, or someone could have gotten terminated. But then I'm also seeing with there's no progress is maybe someone that didn't have a job, couldn't find a job for a really long time. Okay. And there was no, like, it was like a dead end situation, no progress situation in regards to getting some sort of employment after either getting terminated or resigning from a position or a job. Okay. Because the resignation and the termination is coming back up in regards to that. So that definitely applies to someone here. But there was some sort of work related situation that could have occurred. All right. I'm also seeing here that we talked about like that destined trip, right? There's something here in regards to, I want to say, it could be like a winter trip, like a winter, because they're giving kind of like a winter journey. All right. A winter trip can be significant. Someone is definitely destined to have some sort of relaxing vacation time. Okay. So if someone's like wondering like, okay, if I'm getting fired from this job or whatever, am I getting paid for like severance pay, or am I getting paid for the vacation time that I didn't get, or something like that, like paid time off or something? Like there's something there that someone's trying to make an agreement with, so that way that can follow through. Okay, that's the message that I'm getting there from that particular situation. So if that applies to you, I'm seeing something is like some sort of agreement is being worked on in regards to that. Okay. When we're talking about something that's opening up here because of a prayer, all right. I did say that there is like a new opportunity, a new door, a new path, a new road, a new route to get something done. All right. But it is, like I said, destiny. For some of you, that may mean that you have to sacrifice something in order to go to this crossroads. Okay. And when I say sacrifice something, don't immediately go all dark on me. Okay. Sacrificing something could be like, okay, if you want to work in this place, that means that you have to leave this place, right? If you want to have a new apartment, that means that you have to move to this location, right? If you want a healthier relationship, then that means that you may need to leave that unhealthy relationship alone, right? And invest in another relationship. There's something here in regards to sacrifice for the changes that you have been wishing and wanting for. And so everybody's sacrifice would be different, right? I'm also seeing here that this particular, let's say, quote unquote, sacrifice is already destined. So it's not like it's something that you are taking with your free will. The choice is definitely yours, but the choice will lead you to your destiny. Does that make sense? And so if it's already destined, then that means that the decision that you're going to make has already been made in your mind and in your soul and your spirit. Okay. Especially if this is like some sort of soul contract that's being severed or renegotiated at this time, right? So we have someone's going through a spiritual contract that's being severed. Someone's going through a romantic contract that's being severed. Someone's going through a financial business contract that's being severed with a particular company. Someone's going through some sort of separation from a like a legal document standpoint. So this could be a judicial contract that is being severed or something like that, or rectified, right? So everybody's situation is definitely going to be different. So you got to figure out which is your crow story, right? And then we can follow through with that, right? So moving on to this crossroads situation, this then leads to this very public decision and this public, like this thing becoming public to other people. When I say public, this may mean like instead of it only being only family knows about it, or only friends know about it, or only a certain amount of people know about it, a lot of more people know. Like it is public knowledge, okay, that this is happening. All right. So this is very significant. Your spiritual team is asking and requiring you at this time in your spiritual journey to try hiking more, walking through a garden or walking through grass. Earthing is very significant right now because there is a several amount of changes that are taking place that, with this new beginning, you need to definitely be grounded, and you need to release the stress into the earth, okay? For you to feel more level-headed, more grounded, more at peace, and less stressed, okay? You need to alleviate this, whatever this is, as you're making these tough calls and choices moving forward, all right? Because I did say, there are some changes afoot here, okay? So let's see what else comes out. Anything else? All right, let's clarify. Actually, you know what? I want to clarify what the heck is going on with that contract, right? Let's clarify the stars. Let's clarify the stars. The ring and the stars. Okay, we have the bouquet. You have the bouquet there. And so, again, talking about, whatever this contract is, because it's some sort of contract, it's some sort of negotiation or agreement, okay? Everybody's situation is going to be different, so I'm just going to call it the contract. In regards to the contract, I am seeing here that not only does someone have to officiate something, okay, so that's like something that's coming out, officiation. Not sure exactly why that's coming out, but there's like a proposal here in regards to the contract. So when we're talking about a contract, no, don't really think about marriage, okay? We talk a proposal, this is like this is a statement. Someone's propositioning something for this said contract. And remember, a contract is an agreement, okay? A contract is a formal agreement of sorts, okay? That is being had in regards to a particular partnership or a relationship, right? And this particular contract, there's somebody here that's having issues negotiating what's going to follow through with this particular official contract, right? So there's issues there in regards to that. However, I am seeing that this contract, after the negotiations take place, it then will become a positive contract, okay? So this can be like reassessing relationship goals, if this is, romantic, before you decide to split ways or, go your separate ways or whatever, or continuing to work on a particular relationship. What are the sacrifices that need to be made for this contract to actually work on both ends, not just on one end, okay? There's something there in regards to that. So that could be romantic, with relationship goals. That could be business wise, making sure that, everybody gets the right percentage, everybody gets their cut, everybody gets, everybody sees the true vision and mission and purpose behind something. Okay. What else am I seeing here? In regards to the housing situation too, like, that, the guidelines are looked at properly and everything is good. Okay. In regards to that, but there's something there in regards to someone listening, all right, and someone speaking up, all right, in regards to what they will and will not tolerate, what they will and will not agree to. And this is like a formal type of thing, all right, that is definitely coming out here. Let's clarify the house. So the scythe in the house, what is that about? The scythe in the house. One card, please. Thank you. All right, we have the tree. So let me put that there like that. Clarify the garden. And actually, let's not do the garden yet. Let's do the gentleman and the dog. The grave. The book and the stork. The fox. So whatever was being withheld was strategic. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Whatever was being withheld, this is like if it's like a document, right? If we're talking about a document, we're talking about a contract. Whatever was being withheld, it was on purpose. So that's like somebody decided to leave a page out, or someone decided to not mention how much something was going to be, like a fee, or if someone didn't do something else was going to happen, like a clause. There we go, like a clause or something like that was not handed out to someone, okay, officially. So there's something there in regards to that. That could be significant. Now, remember, everybody's situation is different. So if this is like relationship wise, this could be like someone decided not to mention what their their end goal was in a relationship, or what their, like, let's say, triggers were, what they're like, okay, if this happens, that's it, I'll call it quits type of situation, right? If this has something to do with like a contract, like official contract with like a lease or a house sale or something like that, this is like someone forgot to put the clause of like, oh, if this gets destroyed, or if anything needs to get fixed, or anything needs to get remodified or anything like that, then tenant has to pay this amount of money for this said contractor to do that, or whatever, or the person then loses the deposit because or if the down payment is not in by this amount of time, then they lose out on getting the house or some shit like that. Okay, it's like there's a lot of different things that I'm picking up on, so hold on, because there's a lot of messages coming through. Okay, so each and every one of you guys is going to be different, so tailor it to your situation, right? But there's something here in regards to looking over a contract, looking over making sure everything is right with official documentation. Again, official documentation doesn't always have to be like things that you sign, like contracts or leases or agreements. Official documentation can also be like birth certificates, socials, IDs, passports, anything that can legally bind you to something, anything that can legally identify you or connect you to something, stuff like that. Okay, that could be significant. All right. What else here? Okay, so let's spin the block back around about the house situation, right? So we talked about like the sale of a house or difficulties with some sort of housing situation or difficulties in a family, okay, that was occurring. There is some sort of extraction happening. So it's like something is being extracted from the lease, right? So someone is being removed from the lease, or someone is being removed from getting the deed of a house, or there's something here about like something is being extracted, right? Because someone's not in agreement. So because that person's not in agreement, someone's being removed from the deed, or someone's being removed from the lease, or like something like that, okay? Something is happening there in regards to that. And this is becoming public, right? So whatever this was, someone tried to do it quietly, but then something happens that then it becomes public, like public knowledge, okay? Going back to like this gentleman situation, now remember there's two gentlemen that I picked up on, okay? Even though we've only seen one and the other one hasn't appeared yet, okay? So that means that one is seen in the situation and the other one is like either the identity is a secret or that person's doing things behind the scenes, okay? That could be significant here, okay? Now, again, with the gentleman, there's a situation here with a depressed man. I talked about somebody going through some sort of depression or whatever, something was going on. They're having some sort of troubles in regards to the contract or in regards to a relationship, or something's not going right. And so that is coming up here, okay? There could have been also a situation where like there is a man that has fallen ill, okay? That's coming up here, all right? And that could be the reason behind the selling of a house or the negotiation of a house or a lease or something like that, okay? Maybe like, what is that called? The inheritance of something, okay? It could be significant here of a house situation. Instead of someone getting the inheritance, someone is selling the house, okay? So something is not being honored. There's a contract that's not being honored based off of what is stated in that specific official document. And if we're talking about that, then that will be the official documentation of a will or a living will, or if it's not a living will, then it's like after someone passed away, like someone fallen ill, they passed away, they left their will, and their will testament said ... someone was supposed to get the inheritance of ... of the household, whatever, and then something just did not follow through, okay? Not the way that it was supposed to be stated in that specific will, and so the person's wishes is not being respected, okay? In this situation, okay? It's not being honored. Something is not being honored in regards to a contract, all right? Something is being overlooked, okay? Or there's something in regards to a will testament. Now I'm talking about whoever that, resonates with. For the will testament, there's a document page that was either misplaced, and I say that lightly, misplaced or withheld, so that someone would not know where that asset, there we go, that asset of the house or the assets that were left behind are actually supposed to go. Does that make sense? All right. Now, I saw two masculine energies. So that means that one of the masculine energies could be the person that, has fallen ill and could have requested either that living testament or that, that final will testament, right? And then the other one was a secretive one that could have hid the thing, right? And that person was supposed to reveal it, make it public. Does that make sense? Make it public for whenever that time was supposed to be, to make it public for whoever to know that needs to know. So maybe this was supposed to be orchestrated in this particular way, okay? All right. Wow, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff that's coming out. So that's probably why your spiritual team is saying like you have to definitely ground yourself right now, because this is not a situation that is going to be smooth riding and smooth sailing. This is a lot of rocky boat energy. This is a lot of like, where the heck did that come from? Agent number 4455. Like yes, you're protected, but also there's a lot of changes happening. And so when it's almost like the rug is being ripped right from under you, okay? Again, there's two men here. There's a man you know, and there's a man that you don't know that could be a part of the situation, right? One of the men is a loyal man, okay? That's what they want to reiterate in regards to that. Now, when we go a little bit deeper into what this particular person may know, they may know about certain changes, all right, or a change that could have happened in secret. So there could have been, again, going along with the testament or whatever, or the contract, right, whatever fits for you, the contract, something could have been altered, something could have been changed in a contract secretly, okay? So that means to you, it was a secret. To you, you didn't know about this, okay? Something was done in secret with an official documentation. Something was altered, something was adjusted, something was changed, okay? And somehow, some way, this impacts you, this affects you. This is why it's coming out in your reading in the first place, right? In the next 7 days, right? And this is useful information, because they're saying this is useful information. This is not just information that you're just feeding you just to feed you and that's it. This is actual useful information. All right, let's clarify that. I want to see what else is happening here with the cross and the ship. Because there's so many messages in this reading, I would definitely suggest for you guys to wait at least 12 hours to 72 hours to then come back and rewatch this for things to start making sense, okay? All right, we have the owls with the ship, and clarify the mice and the ring, the locket. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. I'm not even gonna I don't even know how to get into this. Okay, so we talked about the destined trip, right? The trip is supposed to happen. The travel plans are supposed to happen. But there's some sort of conversation that's being had too. Okay, it's hard conversations. Someone could be going to counseling. Someone's recommended to keep going to counseling, because this is definitely going to come up in your counseling sessions. Okay. Again, with the difficult journey that you've been going through, there's a fated trip here, right? With the mice, now we're talking about the stuff that was causing like issues and stress and the depression for someone, okay? As someone was going through depression, right? There's heartache, there's emotional stress. So this is emotional stress that caused some sort of depression for one of these masculines, because remember I said one of these masculines was going through depression and they were keeping a secret, and they weren't telling people that they were, maybe being suicidal, or there was a reason behind someone's suicide or something like that. Oh my gosh, why is it getting so dark? There's a reason behind someone's suicide. Something was a suicide. Someone committed suicide. Someone didn't die of natural causes. And this is useful information. Someone didn't die of natural causes. Someone committed suicide. And there's somebody that knew about this, but they withheld the information. Was it to collect? Was it so that way they would collect money? The inheritance? What is that? What is that called when your life insurance? Is it life insurance? Yeah. When someone passes away, they get like life insurance, or the family gets life insurance or whatever because someone passes away. There's something in regards to that that's coming out right now in the next 7 days. It's like someone opens up their big fucking mouth and they decide to say, such and such was going through depression, such and such was being suicidal, such and such, da 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 da. And then changes the contract of something. All right, there's something here that like something changes, like fast as fuck. All right. And then going back around to someone had a stressful relationship. Someone was stressing out a lot because of a relationship, and they were depressed, and that could have led to their suicide. But someone thought that they were dying of natural causes. But whatever this agreement that was made, it was a undependable agreement. Okay. There could have been a breakup of a relationship or something like that. And then someone could have gotten into a very deep depression of sorts. But this was not public knowledge. This was not like people didn't know about this. So this was like hidden. Like people didn't know that there was issues with the relationship. There was trouble in paradise and trouble in the relationship. People didn't know that the person was already going through depression. People didn't know. Someone's a drinker. Someone's a drinker. Someone was a drinker. Why I'm saying was. Is it the person that passed away? That person was a drinker. And they did not die of natural causes. Dang, I like the insight and everything. This message got like so deep. Like, clarify the lily in the mountain, the clouds. Clarify the fox and the sickle. The snake. Clarify the ship and the lilies. There's something about a toxic woman being attached to this. Clarify the key and the cross. And with the house thing there, I think that either that person lived with that toxic woman, or maybe that toxic woman was the woman that they were in a relationship with or something like that. You got to figure out, which situation is yours. But the snake is there. And in this deck, the snake comes out. The woman is the snake. The woman was the charmer. The woman was the one that used her looks or seduced something to happen. Like something there. Okay. We have the rider and the crossroads. Yeah, there's something coming in. There's news coming in that's going to lead to a decision, right? And then we have the child. So two new starts. And we have the clock tower at the bottom of the deck. So this is divine timing. This is a divine tower that's happening. This is a divine shakeup that's happening in order for everybody to figure out, what truly happened. You know what I'm saying? In regards to this particular situation. So when we talk about, remember how I said like there was no progress in regards to something, no progress in regards to that said contract or that agreement following through, or no progress in regards to whatever was supposed to be stated and done because of the will. For some of you guys, it's like spiritual blockages, right? There was no progress spiritually in regards to certain things because there was a lot of things that was confusing, okay? We have discontent energy, uncertainty energy, okay? Problems with family. Somebody could have been senile, or someone could have, okay, I'm also seeing like someone was not senile. Someone was depressed. They weren't senile. If someone said somebody was senile, that was this bitch. This bitch was fucking lying. Okay? to remove something about removing someone from the house. What the fuck is going on right now? And this was like, I'm also seeing like, that's why there was like no progress in something. That's why something wasn't moving, or someone wasn't budging. That's why this bitch wasn't budging. She wasn't budging because she had a alternative motive. There we go, an ulterior motive to something. Okay, so this person was actually a snake, and I don't know if this is like someone to do with this house situation. Okay, but it is coming out like heavy. And y'all know I don't withhold nothing from y'all. Like I see what it is. I tell y'all, and then you use your intuition to put everything into place. I give you the puzzle pieces, and you put it all together. You get what I'm saying? So like, also here there's a situation with because this person, she's coming off as a liar. The liar. Also a warning of danger. This person's dangerous somehow, okay? Especially when threatened to be removed from a situation, whether it be physical removing, or whether it be someone breaking up with them, or whether it be they not getting access to what they want or desire, or some sort of agreement gets canceled out or something like that. They become dangerous, okay? All right, remember that. The other thing here, so we have liar, we have deception. This person is a deceiver. They're deceiving something in regards to the situation. They're a deceiver, okay? There's something that this person is lying about, all right? They're lying about something. This is why it's coming out, all right? We have the foxy lady and the snake with the snake with the woman, okay? That's significant. And they keep saying that there's something here in regards to a trip that is destined, okay? Some sort of trip is destined to be made, all right? So someone could be traveling to some sort of event, all right? When I say an event, it doesn't have to be an official event. It could be like, this gathering is happening at this time, at this day. Are you going to come? Yes or no? And then you decide to fucking go, right? And then all this stuff comes out, right? Someone could be deciding to something about a foreign country or international travel or international trip. You put it where it applies, because I also saw that too. And then I'm also seeing here something in regards to that winter trip, okay? Or some sort of winter journey that came up there too. Now, the key came out twice. I mentioned the key. The key was nowhere to be found. And then the key came out in the cards, okay? So there's something in regards to, there's something that is being mentioned, but there's no proof of it. You can't see it. Nobody can find it. But then out of nowhere, boom, there it comes, okay? The key came out twice, all right? And this is destined. Do you understand? This is destined for for double the proof to come out, okay, in regards to this particular situation. Remember that, okay? These next 7 days, remember that, all right? Now, when we're starting talking about the garden, we're wrapping up the reading now, y'all. When we start talking about the garden, we talk about the crossroads, that decision. There could be some sort of sacrifice that needs to be made because of the decision, right? I do feel like that decision, again, is public decision. This is not something that I'm gonna do this by myself. I'm not gonna say to anybody. No, this is a public decision. Everybody fucking knows about this choice, all right? This is meeting with someone. Someone's meeting with someone. In this situation, this is meeting with someone new. But remember, okay, remember that there's two masculines here. Someone you know and someone you don't. So that could be you meeting the masculine that you didn't know about in this situation, and then finding out with the keys, boom, boom, the information that is important, the valuable information that they said. All right. And this jumpstarts the opening of the doors, right? This jumpstarts the new chapters that are unfolding, right, for you. Because this is the changes, okay? This is also symbology of changes for a child or changes for siblings. Changes for siblings, all right? Because they're two children. So if there's two siblings in a family, there's changes here because of all of this here that's happening, all right? Or changes for children in regards to the situation. There's something there. The children of maybe that said masculine or something like that that's happening here right now. All right. So something is becoming public, you guys, in the next 7 days. And for some of you guys, it may have to do with your love life. For some of you guys, it may have to do with work-related situations. For others of you, it could be because of legal trials or a legal situation that's happening. And for others of you, it may have something to do with the will and testament, okay, of someone that you know, all right? Again, these messages can apply to you personally. This is what you're going through personally, or this could be because of someone you know and what they're going through. And then they are talking to you in the next 7 days in regards to the situation, and then it impacts you in a certain way, right? There's different ways that these messages can show up for you in your life. That's why I said if you might need to rewatch this in the next, 72 hours, at least give it a minimum of 12 hours for you to kind of like do other things and then come back and kind of see it with fresh eyes. Okay. But this is a clock tower. All right. And we have the bear here clarifying the clock tower. So your final message, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a destined tower. Okay. There's something about finally speaking up. Someone's finally speaking up. Someone's finally saying what they need to say in regards to a situation. All right. With this clock tower, it's giving courthouse and it's giving bank. All right. That's all I got to say for you guys. This was your crow call. These were your Crowllective messages. Peace.